Hello, I'm the author Maggie Shaw, and here's a reading from my latest book, The Eagle and the Raven. Part of Chapter 28, The Mischief Night Ball. The courtyard bustled with activity as the day wore on. Musicians and mummers arrived, kitted out for a festival. When servants hung turnip lanterns around the courtyard as dusk fell, I realized what it was. October the 31st, All Hallows' Eve, and the night of misrule. The ball would be the start of 3 days of festivities celebrating the saints and other believers who had gone before. Soon the guests started to arrive. I recognized many from the previous ball. All the most influential townsfolk, including Astra, had gathered before the Duke's triumphal entrance with Duchess Isadora on his left arm. We all stood to show our respect. Behind the Duke came the envoys. He provided seats for them round about him on the dais, but kept the closest seat for his wife. All wore suitable masks. The only other differences to costume were the choices of dark colours for everyone's robes. My white surcoat made me stand out among them all like a bright lantern on a dark night. I wished I had thought to wear my black brigandine, but to sport armour at such a social gathering would have been thought very rude to my host. The mummers entered, running and cartwheeling across the floor of the hall. The guests moved back and lined the walls to make space for them. They performed a humorous morality play about the perils of flirting with the devil, using costume and mime alone to tell the tale. When they bounded off again, the musicians struck up in the gallery and the dancing began. I realized my presence on the dais was only to satisfy the envoys I was alive and well, and amused myself by watching the courtly games playing out on the floor below. When Nicholas stood up to dance with Isadora, the entire court stood with them as convention required, but everyone was clearly surprised. Their departure from the dais gave the Imperator's envoy an opportunity to speak to me. Nicholas returned to the dais with his wife Isadora, paying her such attention that tongues were wagging among his regular ball guests. After they had sat, the rest of us were also free to sit. The music started up again, and queenly Astra worked her way around the room to the dais. She curtsied to Duke Nicolaus and waited for his permission to speak before asking if any of the envoys would like to join the dance. When they refused, she suggested I might like to join her on the floor. To my surprise, Duke Nicolaus agreed. But then it became less surprising, as he began a long discussion with the envoys once I had left their presence. I came to suspect the whole matter had been planned. Buxom Astra looked magnificent in her deep crimson satins. She danced well, making up for my deficiencies. I felt as if I were in a parallel world, and at any moment I would wake back up in the darkness of that lonely cell. Astra handled her mask with coquettish style throughout the dance. When the music ended, she drew me to one side, in a place where I would be clearly visible to everyone on the dais. "Hasn't it been a wet October? No wonder you're looking a little pale, dear heart," she said. "I haven't been out much recently. However, you look radiant," I replied. "I understand you have been very naughty." "The envoys would agree with you, but it was all in the cause of justice and peace. Isn't this dance rather naughty too?" "Oh no. The Duke himself instructed me to ask you." Mischief Night indeed. The Duke signalled to the musicians to play a short fanfare. When the trumpet fell silent, he settled back in his chair to make an announcement. My people, I am right pleased with the outcome of our recent little skirmish at Durnfels. To celebrate the unification of my duchy, I have ended the emergency measures in Danuvia and lifted the curfew in Augsburg. Tomorrow I will also begin the rebuilding of my city. Thus may all Danuvia rejoice with your duke's rejoicing. The news stunned the gathering, including me. I had not expected Nicholas to take up any of my suggestions. No one cheered his announcement, and I didn't have the gall to respond. To end the shot silence, Isadora signalled to the musicians to play on. I turned back to Astra. She hid her expression with the skillful use of her mask. Dear Astra, was it your loyalty to the Duke which made you slip that letter into my pocket the last time I was here, as you told me to leave Augsburg by the south gate? I asked her. She waggled the mask in reply to censure my directness before answering with words. Gendal, I knew you were astute enough to foil such a petty ruse. I had to do it to show my loyalty to the Duke. Leander, the innkeeper, had made sure everyone suspected your new identity. Had I truly wanted to betray you, I would have done so when you came back from your midnight walk. The ruse earned me good credit at court, saved you, and alerted a family sympathetic to Rabenwald's cause. Ah, Gendal, you have the cunning of the road, but I have the cunning of the court, which can outwit the greatest general. I laughed and clasped her hand. As I did so, I felt the point of a dagger press into the small of my back. I turned my head to look at the assailant, and saw the long, haughty features of the Chancellor. He was dressed in black velvet, like some sort of elegant fiend. "Would you like to see your homeland again, knight?" he hissed. "What are my desires to you?" "I would help you escape Danuvia." "I? What if I do not wish to go?" "You'll be worm meat ere the week is out." "I must be a barbed thorn in your side. Leave me be, Chancellor. I dislike your tone." "Not as much as I dislike your face. Nor shall I leave without you. My coach awaits to take you to the border." "To cross the duchy in the curfew hour?" "Did you not hear the Duke? Are your ears already so filled and your head so stuffed with schemes to bewitch Nicholas that you cannot take notice? Thanks to you, our land is no longer under martial law. Should you cry out, no one will hear." "What of the Duke's guards, posted to watch me?" "They are here, waiting to escort you. Come, your few things are already packed. Take Widow Astra's arm and walk out of the hall." I obeyed. The concealed knife pressed to my side ensured I didn't make a disturbance, unless I had a sudden yearning to be disemboweled. I stepped out into the courtyard, wondering what new schemes, what new betrayals were about to be played out on this mischief night.